Hello everybody, my name is Maura. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be choosing my June TBR, and I'm doing it the same way that I chose my May TBR, which is picking two books, putting them next to each other, scribbling out the covers, putting emojis on top, and letting my followers vote on Instagram on what book they think I should be reading in the next month. I found that this was the best way to do it because I was really struggling to get through my TBRs in the recent months because of school and other things that I was working on. So the best way for me to do it is to have two books side by side that I know I want to read, so that it's a win-win. I posted these on my book Instagram, so if you guys want to be involved, it's Bookshelf by Maura, if you were wondering. Also, my TBR is running short, let me say that. I think that means I have to go book shopping, obviously. Obviously, I have to go get more. The first pairing that I have is A Bag of Money and a Family. That one, I feel like it's kind of possibly obvious, but maybe not. That was the Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I picked the Bag of Money because I thought like inheritance, and then I picked the Family because I know it follows brothers. The other book was like a target and then a magnifying glass, and that was Killer Instinct, also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I don't know if you can see, but this is kind of like a torpedo to a target, or maybe it's like a dart. I don't even know. That's my reasoning behind the target. So I did two Jennifer Lynn Barnes books next to each other. I have had the Inheritance Game series for quite some time and I haven't read it. And then I just read the first book in the Natural series, so I figured Killer Instinct would be a next good one to read. The winner was the Inheritance Games, which I'm kind of glad because this has been sitting on my shelf for a long time, so I'm kind of glad that she finally is going to be read. The next pairing that I have, one of these books you guys have seen in TBR videos for months now because she always gets neglected. So for the first book, I chose a stack of books and then a heart, like a broken heart. This one was kind of hard to pick emojis for, so I don't know if this is as obvious, but it was Things I Wanted to Say, the first book in the Lancaster Prep series. Apparently this is a bully romance, so I did like a broken heart, and then it takes place at a school, so I did books. I've been wanting to read this series for a long time as well, but haven't gotten around to it. I finally started finding these books around in bookstores and snatched it up. Second book, you guys definitely know what it is. It's just a heart emoji and then like a science bottle, and that is obviously Love Theoretically. I have been trying to read this book for like 9 months now. I'm like way behind. I got this when it first came out, but I have great news, she won. So I'm going to be reading her this month. Thank God. I really wanted to read this book. It was just other books got picked for TBR videos, or I had it picked for a TBR 1 month, I think, or at least said like, I'll read it when I finish the other ones. I just didn't do that. Love Theoretically finally got her moment, okay? I'm really excited because I just read Bride and I didn't dislike it. I gave it a 3. If you guys saw my last video, which was my reading wrap up, then you would know my rating for that book and my thoughts on that book. But I do generally like Ali Hazelwood's writing. I'm not the biggest fan of the STEM novels. I read The Love Hypothesis back in like 2021, and I think I gave it like a 4-star. Like I didn't like obsess over it, but it was good, and back then I was just rating whatever. I'm excited now to read Love Theoretically and like really know what I like in her writing and see what that one ends up doing for me. The next pairing, these are two books that I'd never seen before, but I stumbled across them in Barnes & Noble on the buy one get one 50 shelf, so I obviously had to get them. So the book on the left, it's supposed to be like a diary, but I don't know if you can see that. And then it's also a microphone, and that is Begin Again by Emma Lord. I picked those emojis because this is like a self-help girly, and she wants to basically like give people self-help advice. She wants to be an iconic self-help figure is what it says on the back. So I did the diary because of that, but I also picked the microphone emoji because it's kind of like she's low-key giving Radio Rebel vibes because she's like an anonymous voice on the school radio. So it's like low-key Radio Rebel vibe. But yeah, those are the emojis there. I don't know too much about this book other than just the fact that she is like this anonymous self-help girly on campus. The second book that I picked was A Palm Tree and a Computer, and that was, if I'm being honest, Palm Tree because it takes place in LA. I was really running short on emojis here, so I was just doing whatever I could. It literally says on the back, being gorgeous and popular doesn't get you off the hook for being a total bitch. So basically everybody dislikes this girl because she's got an attitude, and her crush balks at her in nasty ways, so she'll do anything to get back in his favor. Apparently, I think he is the one that is like developing this computer software or like this computer game. Basically, he's like really tech savvy, and she's trying to make him like her again after everybody's kind of revealing that she's like a bitch. This book is the one that won. Again, I was running low on emojis, but it was also hard to pick for these pairings because these two books I didn't really know much about, so it was difficult for me to pick when I didn't know a lot of the books going into it. Another one that has been in quite a few TBR videos. So you guys can probably tell what these two are. I feel like these ones are a little obvious. I have a girl emoji and then a skull and bones. And that was Legend by Marie Lu. Yes. That's who it is. I basically did like the same general emojis last month for this book. The reason I picked those is because it follows this girl named June and her brother is killed, and that is why she's kind of sent on these missions. It says until June's brother is murdered, so girl and death. Day becomes the prime subject, but June and Day have no reason to like be involved with each other. So now they're working together to like find answers for things. Literally, this is like the smallest summary of a book ever. So I'm really going in here blind. I don't know a lot, all right? Next, I feel like this one was kind of obvious, so I was a little shocked that this one did not win because it was literally a crown and a sword, which is pretty obvious that that is Throne of Glass. Okay, so I did Throne and I did Crown, and then she's an assassin, so I did a sword. I'm a little sad that she didn't win, if I'm being honest. I'll definitely try to read it this month, but I'm a little sad that she didn't win. I'm definitely in my Throne of Glass era. I read Assassin's Blade first and I loved it and I raved about it. So my next book is obviously Throne of Glass, and this unfortunately lost to Legend. I'm sure Legend is a great book. I'm not hating on it or thinking that I'm not gonna like it. I just was really excited to read Throne of Glass. We're gonna read Legend and it's gonna be fun, and I'm not mad. The final pairing, the first book, I feel like this was really obvious because again, I was like running out of emojis to use, so I just needed to make it obvious. I did a mouse and a ghost, and that was Haunting Adeline. I know people have their thoughts about this book, but you know what? I'm not gonna know until I read it. And unfortunately, I feel like I will really enjoy this book. Mind your business, mind your business. I did the mouse because it's the cat and mouse duet, and then I did a ghost because of haunting. Another one that I will definitely be reading this month no matter what. I just want to know what everybody's talking about. Like, I feel like I joined the party late here, so I just want to know everything that's going on. I want to know what people are talking about, and I want to be involved. I feel left out. I have a little bit of FOMO, if I'm being honest. The second book, this is another one that is a repeat of last month, so you might recognize it if you watched the last video. That is a ring and then a guy with like money, like the money emoji, but he's like, it's like his tongue, you know? And that was King of Wrath. So I picked the ring because there's a ring on the cover. Money emoji, that one specifically because he's a billionaire. So I made sure that it was like money, but towards a man, you know, like he is money. So this is following Dante Russo and Vivian, and she's a jewelry heiress and a daughter of his newest enemy. Okay, period. This is our winner. I have said in the past, and I've said it every single time, but I say it in case people don't know. Anna Huang books are really, really hit or miss for me. So I did not love the Twisted series, but I wanted to go into the King of Sin series and hope that there was gonna be a little bit of a different outcome. I don't dislike her writing. It's mostly just the characters, but I understand that they are more of like a darker story. The plot might not be super dark, but the characters kind of are. I really just didn't like Twisted Love or Twisted Hate, but I love Twisted Games and Twisted Lies. I loved Twisted Lies. I loved Twisted Lies, like a lot. It's gonna start the King of Sin series. I also just want some new books to read, so I'm probably gonna end up reading these books. I'm really hoping I enjoy these. I think people like them more than the Twisted series. I think the Twisted series is just kind of iconic and nostalgic for book talk, but I think these are the ones that people really enjoy. And that's everything that I've picked. So let's do a little recap on what books we're going to be reading. And one thing about me is that when I pick these for videos, I do have to read them in the order that they were chosen, or else it gives me mad OCD and I go crazy. I will be reading it in the order that they were selected. So the first one is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I am pretty excited about this one. Again, I've had it for like 2 years. The first and second book I've had for 2 years. Love Theoretically. I'm very excited about this one. I feel like I'm in like my romance era, which I kind of always am, but like now more than ever, I'm like, I need romance books. So I'm excited here. And I know a lot of people love this one. I think this is most people's favorite out of the STEM. I call it the STEM Girlies series. That's not what it's called. But of the STEM Girlies series, I think this is everybody's favorite. And I've had this for like 9 months and haven't read it yet. So I'm quite excited. And then if I'm being honest, I'm excited about this one just because I don't know a lot about it. I haven't heard anybody that's read it. And I grabbed this only because it was on sale. I really don't know a lot about it. So I'm excited to make my own opinions about it and maybe tell you guys if you should read it or not. Then Legend, I know this is another kind of iconic book talk book. I've never read anything by this author, so I have no idea how this is gonna go. While I know this is a really popular book and really recommended, I don't know a lot about the plot. So I am still going in blind, even though I know that people have generally liked it. So I don't really know how things are gonna go there. But then finally, I kind of know where I stand with Anna Juan books, so King of Wrath I am excited about getting into. I am kind of biting my tongue and not going to go in with super crazy expectations because I know that her books have been hit or miss with me, and I don't want to go in with negative thoughts, but I also don't want to go in thinking that it's going to change my life, because it probably won't. Those are all the books that I picked for my TBR, actually the books that you guys picked. And if you guys want to pick my TBR in a future video through Instagram, my Instagram again is bookshelf by Maura. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys when I see you.